Hello everyone and welcome to a really short Star Wars The Old Republic video where I am talking about how you can get Darth Marr as a companion. Now a quick disclaimer, this is not a glitch or anything, this is not like an exploit where you can actually get him as a companion. This is just something I want to talk about in the game and it's going to require you to not actually do the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline. Now the first thing is I know there are a lot of characters out there, a lot of players out there, they have their main characters and they like collecting all the companions. And I know there was some buzz out there about people saying they wanted to keep Darth Marr as a companion because you actually get to use him as a companion after playing Chapter 1 of the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline, but then after he, spoiler alert, he dies in Chapter 1 of Knights of the Fallen Empire, then you no longer obviously have access to him as a companion. And there is a companion terminal at the Odessan warbase where you can actually go there and you can pick up all of your old companions. So let's say for example I'm a Sith warrior and I want Jaisa back as a companion. Well, she hasn't yet arrived in the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline, or Knights of the Eternal Throne now is what it will be, and so I can't technically have her as part of the story, but I could go to that terminal and in case I wanted to go on level with her or I wanted to increase her influence or whatever, I can still have access to her as a companion. Now that a lot of people thought that that terminal was going to eventually give you access to characters like HK-55 or Darth Marr, but unfortunately that has not been the case. But what I did want to mention was there are a lot of, I don't know if there are a lot of players out there that like to play the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline for all of their characters. I personally am not that at all. I've only played through the storyline with my Sith Warrior, and then I'm playing through the storyline with my Jedi Guardian just for the Dark vs. Light event. I'm not planning on going on, every single one of my tunes and playing the whole Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline because it would be a little bit too tedious and boring for me. And I think that a lot of the other player base out there aren't into that as well. They don't want to go and play on every single one of the characters. And the one thing I wanted to mention was, for those of you guys who aren't looking to complete the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline on a character, you can actually have Darth Marr as an accessible companion. And the way you can do that is just start Chapter 1. So if you go ahead and start playing Chapter 1 of Knights of the Fallen Empire, and you reach that point where Darth Marr joins you as a companion, then you can just go ahead and leave the chapter. And that's exactly what I've done here on my Jedi Guardian that I'm leveling for the Dark vs. Light event. And now I have access to Darth Marr as a companion, and he acts exactly as a companion would act. You can change his roles, for example. You can even give him gifts to increase his influence and all that good stuff. And the reason I'm throwing this out there, a lot of you might be thinking, well, that's useless because he's an actual companion. Well, think back to like Nico Okar, for example. He was a subscriber reward. So obviously BioWare thought that a companion like him, some iconic character like Nico Okar, would be desirable enough that people would actually be satisfied with him as a subscriber reward. You don't have access to anything really. You don't have access to any storylines with Nico. You can't go ahead and have conversations with him or anything. So basically he's exactly like Darth Marr is right now, except it's just kind of cool to have him around. And I've actually had on some of my tunes, or when I was leveling up this Guardian to be specific, I did have him as my main companion. He was the guy who I was running around with at low levels because he was really the only companion I had access to. And I had tons of people whisper at me saying, oh, how do you have access to that companion? How do you get him as a companion? Because a lot of people recognized him from the Star Wars Old Republic trailers, and then I had to explain to those guys, well, it was a subscriber reward. So it seems as though this is pretty sought after, and I don't see anyone on the fleet with Darth Marr as a companion out there. Very, very few people I have seen, and so you can be one of those people who has Darth Marr as a companion just by starting the Chapter 1 of the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline and then leaving it when you have Darth Marr as your companion. And you can go ahead and run around with him and have this very exclusive, very cool companion with you. And the obvious disclaimer and the obvious downside of this is you can't go ahead and complete the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline on your character, because if you do so, you'll lose him as a companion. But on the other hand, I don't think that's a really big deal, because as I mentioned, I don't think everyone's going out there and leveling up and doing Knights of the Fallen Empire in every single one of their tunes. I personally obviously have my Sith Warrior that I run a lot of the stories on. I'm only doing it for the Jedi Guardian because of the Dark vs. Light event, and then I have tons of other characters out there that I just PvP with. I have a character out there that's just in PvE gear who I do heroics with and stuff. And so for those characters, I'm not planning on doing the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline, but I didn't know that you could just play Chapter 1, then leave and have Darth Marr as a companion, which in my opinion is very cool. I'm going to go do that on every single one of my characters, so just so that I can have Darth Marr, because I personally love the guy. I think he's an awesome character, just such great storytelling, and he's got such cool lore with associated with him, and so I'm definitely going to want him as a companion. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this short video, and I hope some of you guys are going to find it helpful, just starting the chapter 1 of the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline and then having access to this really rare and really cool companion. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.